Hello and welcome to another edition of the Black Business Experience. I'm Robert Felder here at BBN. Today I'd like to talk to you about getting your book done in less than 30 days. Now, what spawned this was a conversation I had recently with someone who was trying to get this very thing done, but they could not get it over the hump. They have their artwork done, they've got most of the book written, but it has not crossed the finish line. So what I'd like to do is share with you what I share with them on how to get this project done. But I know how it is. You have responsibilities, you have family, you have work, and that's why these projects end up getting put on the back burner. So let's take some of the work off of your hands so that you can expedite things. Number one, if you already have content, say you've been writing blog posts or you have already organized a book, written most of it, go ahead and get it sent to an editor. You want somebody to be working on that for you, and you can use some of those resources that I've mentioned before. Like I've talked about Elance, talked about Odesk, I've talked about Fiverr. You can go and find a freelancer, type in what you're looking for, and they can help you with that project, that part of the project. Now, if you don't have any content written, you have not written any blog posts, you have not written one word of your book, but say your skill is better speaking than it is in writing, then what you can do is record yourself. The audio is what you want to capture. So you can use your cell phone. You can use your laptop if you still have one of those things called a desktop. You can record your voice, and what you're going to do is take that audio and you're going to send it to a transcriber. Now you can use those same resources to find a transcriber, or you can just go into Google and find a transcriber, and it's really inexpensive. Per word is what they'll charge you to get that done. So now you have your book written, which was audio, and you can take this and then you can have this sent to an editor. Now, if you are just new to this and you want a lot more help with it, you can go to a website like guru.com, some of the other websites I've mentioned, and you can look for a ghost writer. Now, what that person can do is help filling out the rest of the book for you. You'll pay more for it because they're writing on your behalf, but this gets a lot of the work done that you don't have to do. Say you are good at maybe getting a paragraph done, and maybe you can put the logical order together, but you need someone to fill in those other examples. Bada boom, you can have your ghostwriter help you fill in those portions of your book. Once it is completed, get it to an editor. Now, if you have not worked on the artwork, how the book is going to look, how it's going to get laid out, you can always go to those resources I've talked about before, the Fiverr, the Odesk, but you can also go to 99 Designs. And if you're working on say the book layout, I've had a workbook done and I found somebody to get it done and it cost me a little bit over $400. They can get it done for you. It looks professional and it will be a representation that you will be proud of. And again, you won't have to be the one working on it. You just tell them what your expectations are. Let someone else do the work for you. Are you learning how we're saving time here yet? Now, next part of the phase is you want to get an ISBN. Now, the ISBN is the little number that identifies and registers your book. This way, your book can be found. Now, ISBNs are pretty inexpensive, about $125. If you want to get an ISBN with a barcode, it may be about $150. Now, I'm just estimating on numbers there, but just to give you an idea of how much something like that costs, you'll need that to get an identifier on your book. So, you've talked about getting your book written. I hope you've used some of those resources. We talked about getting your ISBN, and we've talked about doing the layout. The last phase is the actual publishing of it. Now, for a self-publisher, and this is to expedite things, you can go to a website called lightningsource.com. That's Lightning source, SOURCE.com. What you can do is buy books in small quantities based off of what you need until you've gotten out there and maybe you have a speaking engagement that's coming up and maybe you only want to do 10 books. You can do small quantities based off of what you need. Do you see how we save time? Use resources that are available to you to get things expedited. Now, I have some of these resources that I've used myself. I've also met many people who do these same things, like ghostwriting, helping you get your ISBN. So as always, if you have questions, contact me. You can reach me here at rfelder@blackvideonews.com. As always, this has been the Black Business Experience. I'm Robert Felder.